The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says it has shut down Kentucky Fried Chicken, an international fast food restaurant chain at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, over discrimination against a passenger. On March 27th, Debola Daniel, son of former governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, had posted on his official X page about his experience at KFC MMI branch. According to Daniel, the restaurant had stopped him and his family from entering, stating that no wheelchairs were allowed. The post has sparked conversations on the issues of widespread discrimination against persons living with disabilities in Nigeria and what stakeholders must do differently to better the quality of life of more than 27 million Nigerians living with some form of disability. Executive Director, Center for Disability and Inclusion Africa, Yinka Olaito, joins me on the news this hour. Glad to have you join us on the news.
Good afternoon, Olamide. Good afternoon, viewers.
Right. So I believe that this issue may have gained some sort of attention, probably because of the victim involved or the brand itself. How much more effort do you believe we need to make as a society to avoid issues like this?
Thank you for noting that. I think that one of the problems that we have is the fact that we only give attention to only those who are children of the big guns in the society. I must assure you that the issue of discrimination against persons with disability is pervasive and is grossly underreported every day. Now, today we are talking about a brand, and we are talking about Debola Daniel, because he's the son of the former Governor Daniel. I must say first that the problem of discrimination is across board, is everywhere, and even we in the media industry, we are also culpable. We underreported most of this until it has become the issue of a big guys involved in it. Let me say that discrimination against persons with disability has its major fundamental on ignorance, which is also traceable to the fact that the society have a charity or what I will call humanitarian approach to issues of persons with disability, where you just think that you just have to be social with them or give them courtesy. A person with disability right is not a social issue or a charity issue. It's an humanitarian issue. Let's look at this one that happened and we begin to analyze it. I'm not talking about the brand of the service involved, but though they make a public apology that is not their role, I stand to be corrected, and I want to say that is not the case, because there have been cases across US, in Mississippi, in UK, and other countries where this same brand had discriminated against persons with disability in different countries. I also want to think that the person who accosted Debola Daniel is not a small fry. Is supposed to be knowledgeable about the rules of that service restaurant. She said no, and she was very categorical about what she said. No wheelchair allowed.
Mr. Olaito, very quickly, yes, very quickly. Let's talk about the issue of some of these laws that we have that obviously spell out penalty for this action. What is the problem here? Are we having the problem of implementation or sensitization? I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, thank you. I think that, like I said, ignorance is the major reason here. Even individuals and people within the society, do we also know that when there's a queue, a person with disability should be given right of way, and if you don't do that, there is a penalty. It's not an issue of courtesy. It's a penalty of 50,000 or a 6 months in jail. When you have a queue in a bank, ATM in ATM area, when you have a queue in a hospital, and a person with disability is around, do we allow them to have a right of way first? That's a law, and that's not a matter of courtesy. It is something that you are culpable, and everybody around that place is culpable. That has to do with normal human, normal citizen, and we do not know. as much as we want to talk about it, there's a law that guides, and there's the guidelines in hospital. There's supposed to be attention in special emergency place for people with disability. These are not given. There's a law attached to it that you should be punished when there is no special consultation table and all those things. It's also a law there that we overlook employment opportunity for person with person with disability. We say that 5% should be allocated to person with disability. How much of this are we following? And these are laws that have penalty attached to it. So when you look at it, like I said, issue of discrimination is everywhere, but the level of ignorance is so pervasive that we do not actually know that violating this law attracts penalty, either in terms of fine or both, or going to jail. So we have a lot of these laws over there in schools, in ramps, and all that. Last year, the president set up a committee saying that buildings without ramp and accessibility should be sued to court. Should be how many will you sue? Even the government buildings and secretariat. How many of us?
So talking about the government, I'm so sorry to talk over you, but very quickly because of our time, calls for the inclusion of persons with disabilities has been on the rise. But I hope after this issue, a lot more will be done as regards implementation of these laws to ensure that they are complied with. But very quickly, because of our time, I'm hoping we have a lot more time to, discuss about this. I've been speaking with the Executive Director, Center for Disability and Inclusion Africa, Yinka Laito. Thank you for joining us on the News at 1.
Thank you. Thank you very much.